This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Hello and welcome to another enlightening episode of A Different Kind of Woman. A different kind of woman wants to know herself. Do opposites really attract? Are couples naturally compatible, or is it something that you develop? Is there an equation for attraction? On today's show, Compatibility Test, we will discuss this and much more. Joining me today is the fantastic Liliana.
Thank you. Hi.
Yes, and the bright and summery Shireen. Hi, ladies. Welcome. Welcome. Today's topic is really interesting because I want to find out from you, as you are married ladies, what attracted you first to your husband?
Oh, wow. With me, okay, so long story short, but I actually didn't like my husband straight away. Yeah. I didn't. I actually didn't. I actually thought he was a bit of a show-off. Like a bit, like that. So I was kind of like, So it wasn't straight away. But because of having mutual friends, and I got to know him a bit better, and I liked his confidence. I liked his...
So he wasn't a show-off.
No,
he just had a natural
see
confidence.
how my eyes changed. Yeah, he was confident, and I liked that he was very respectful to women, like with his, even just like colleagues or his mom. I loved that. I love that he's very respectful, very understanding.
Wow.
I love that.
And Shireen, what about you?
It's a bit similar to Lily, actually, that when I first met my husband, he was so like a bit of a chauvinistic person, like proper show-off, like, you know, but then I realised it was just a front. He's actually he's so loving, caring, and he's hardworking. That really attracted me a lot. And the fact that he's very family orientated, which is important to me as well.
Oh, wow. Today's topic, I can see, is an interesting one, compatibility. Okay, so before we go into the topic further, let's find out what the people on the streets of London think about this. Check it out.
What is it that keeps some couples excited about each other for years, while some find that they are fizzling out after an initial explosive passion? What is it to be compatible? Compatibility is formed of a multitude of different things in different forms. Similar interest, personal, political, and philosophical views, past history, backgrounds, and culture are all aspects that can play a part in compatibility. Psychology professor Ted Houston from Texas University conducted a study on how long couples stay together, and he found out that compatibility has nothing to do on how long the couples stay together or how happy they are. Chemistry is another term that people use as something very important to make a relationship last. Chemistry is the emotional connection between two people. We might be drawn to someone for subconscious reasons based on early childhood experiences. In the 50s and 60s, Eric Berne developed a transactional analysis, accounting on how people react and interact with each other in a relationship. According to Sigmund Freud's theories, a person has three ego states: the parent, what you've been taught; the child, what you've felt; and the adult, what you've learned. Based on these theories, Berne was trying to show that compatibility has to do with these three ego states. According to scientists, couples who complain to each other the most about unimportant things tend to be more compatible and have more lasting relationships. Psychology professor Dr. Angela Duckworth showed through her research that grit and stamina are very important in a relationship. Let's find out what the public think. How much do you believe in the rules of similarity and opposites in a relationship?
I think it depends on, you know, where you're from, what kind of person you are, whether you can adapt to them, that kind of thing. Matilda?
Yeah, I kind of agree, but I also think that like you've got to have a medium in a relationship. You can't be too opposite, but then don't know, I've never been attracted to someone who's really, really opposite.
I think it can be really interesting when two people are like, really different, but that can also make it difficult. But in my opinion, that's really romantic. Yeah, I'm a bit of like an undercover romantic in that way. So even though it can be difficult, it can make it a lot more fun. It can be more passionate and stuff.
Well, I think being opposite has a big influence when people attract. Like me and her, we're total opposites, and that's one of the things that has helped our relationship be stronger. Like that, we're total opposites.
Yeah, we have common interests, but our personalities are definitely different.
What do you believe makes a couple compatible?
When they share respect for each other, I guess. I think that's like the main thing. And if they have a really good understanding, they can see eye to eye about things. They don't feel they need to like hide what they really feel.
Similar interests, just mutual feelings, like just that kind of thing.
I believe that being open and honest and having open communication, that's what makes us compatible. That's what will just sharing the same interest and being open about sharing everything.
Yeah, I agree. Being open, communication, and having similar interests.
Having like a middle ground. So what's that word when you like do something for the other person? You know, like you're willing to compromise. Yeah, compromise.
What do you think is more important in a relationship, compatibility or love, and why?
Probably love, because I guess even if people aren't compatible on paper, then in person they'll get along.
Both. You've got to have...
I mean, you can't really have one without the other.
Yeah, you can't really have a relationship without
love. Then you can't have one without compatibility.
Yeah.
It's a bit of both. I don't think I could choose one outright. Because if you love each other and you're not compatible, you're gonna suffer, you know. But if you're compatible, I think you have a better chance of maturing the relationship, or kind of growing together, and I think that will eventually lead to, you know, being in love anyway.
Well, I think love is more important. It doesn't matter if there's compatibility. If the love is there, the love will grow. So I think that's more important.
Yeah, I would say being compatible. If you're compatible with someone, you fall in love with them. If you just love, you can love people who aren't good for you. So, but thank you very much.
That's it from the streets of London, and it's back to you in studio.
Wow, the public opinion is very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, 1% found that, you know, their partners, they are compatible to the other half. And it's so interesting how people find that opposite attract. What do you think about that?
Opposites attract. Do you think opposites attract, Lily?
I do.
I knew she was going to say that.
I know. I knew she was asking me because she knew I was going to say, I do.
Opposites attract. I think opposites will attract you in the beginning, but you won't keep a relationship.
Yeah.
Because I think as the time goes by, you want the other person to be more like you.
Okay.
So that's my opinion on this. I think this whole opposite attract thing is really just a myth.
Do you know, I was going to say, opposites do attract. And I'll give, for example, my grandmother and granddad's relationship. They've been married, I don't know how long, because it's been like forever. But they are very different. But then there's compromise, isn't it?
Yes.
So
It's down to the grits, right?
Yeah, I have to be honest, because my I know it sounds weird, but usually my grandma has the last word. I know it's usually the man. But my grandma has the last word in a very... she's smart about it. She's smart.
Yes.
She knows how to... And we all the women see it, like when she does it to my granddad.
Oh, so you're learning from her.
Do you know,
Have you picked up some tips from her?
Yeah, a little bit. But it's like, honestly, seeing their example made me see that how they are opposites, but they're making it work. They're not just saying, oh, we're opposites and that's it, or just leaving it to attraction. No, of course they got to know each other more and they had to compromise, because to be honest, love, I believe, is compromise. It's not easy,
nice.
always, but it is
No.
compromise. So
I think it requires also a lot of thought and planning, just being thoughtful, just being a good listener as well.
True.
You know, because it doesn't, I think in my relationships, I've never been physically attracted to the person at first sight. It took a while
As
for
you got
me
to know them.
yeah.
Going back to this opposites attract thing that Lily said. You know, I really like the point that about the grit. Because I think something can attract you in the beginning, and because there was the attraction, that chemistry there, you just think, do you know what, it's worth working at it. And I think a lot of the time people do that.
Yeah, that's true.
The attraction takes the back burner, but the fight to just want to keep the relationship, to keep what you got at the beginning, is what will keep you going.
Yes, I really admire when I see, you know, older couples still together.
I love it.
You know, and when you speak to them, they were like, she wears the trousers.
Yeah. And they don't mind it. It's like your grandpa has probably got to the point where, do you know what, it's working.
Fine,
And just keep her happy.
Yes. And sometimes it requires, you know, just for me, I think it's about serving as well. So I don't mind cooking, cleaning, just taking care of the home, taking care of myself. You know. So each person, I guess it varies.
I was just going to say, so me and my husband one time went to a restaurant and we saw this older couple sitting down and they were eating their meal and they didn't say one word to each other, like one word. And I thought, oh my gosh, maybe they had an argument or maybe... But they were so at peace.
Yeah.
And at the end, they even just went, all right, let's go, honey. No. But when they were eating, they were so quiet. And that made me realise how we can't judge... for example, how a relationship is just because of what you see there and then. You can't. Because in reality, like me and my husband, we love talking. So when the restaurant we're eating, oh, this is nice. Oh, this is no. But that couple was so quiet. That was so quiet. And I was just thinking, obviously they were older couple and I believe they love their own... Oh, I don't know how to say. Not that they love their own, but they don't mind that silence. Does that make sense?
It works for them.
Yeah.
That's what works for them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Each couple is different.
Indeed.
Yes. Okay, we're going to take a short break, but stay tuned and take a look at what's next. Find out what love language we speak in a quiz.
Oh, gosh, it's a bit of a tough one, isn't
it? I know,
it?
I was thinking, I like all of them.
A to E, please.
Welcome back on today's show, Compatibility Test. We've been discussing what makes people compatible in their relationships. Dr. Chapman wrote a best-selling book called The 5 Love Languages. Through this, more than 30 years of couple counseling, Dr. Chapman has noticed specific patterns in the way partners communicate, and it turns out that most of the population express and interpret love in the same 5 ways, according to his observations. With that in mind, let's take a test based on this to find out what love language we speak. Now, ladies, choose the answer that most applies to you. It's more meaningful to me when A, I get the chance to just hang out with someone I love. B, someone I love send me a loving note, text, email for no special reason. Or C, I unexpectedly get small gifts from someone I love. Or D, I hug someone I love. Or E, someone I love gets involved in a project I'm working on. A, B, C, D, or E. Ladies.
Oh, gosh, it's a bit of a tough one, isn't it?
I know, I was thinking, I like all of them.
A to E, please.
I think I'll go for A.
Is it? I was going to say B. Because I just like it when, for no reason, like I'm not expecting it. And then even if it's just a text or, I just love it. It makes my day.
Now I must say, this is very tough. I thought this was going to be easy. But I think, I think I'll go for E. Someone getting involved in something, a project that's really important to me.
Yes.
And they're also, I think that's, oh my gosh, for me, that's like the ultimate thing.
Yes.
I'm doing something I love, and the person I love is helping me. Oh, fab.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I wonder what our viewers think about this. Okay, so next one. It's more meaningful to me when A, I get to do things with someone I love. Or B, I hear supportive words from someone I love. Or C, someone I love gives me a little gift as a token of our love for each other. Or D, someone I love holds my hand. Or E, someone I love does something nice to help me. Aww.
Oh, I'm like, which one?
It's going to be E again for me.
Someone, okay.
I think I'm really in this mode of...
I like that.
Of the fact that of having someone I love do something for me. I'm just thinking of my husband.
Yeah.
Like, when I was learning to drive, for example, he really sacrificed so much time to also help me.
Oh, that's nice.
And I found myself kind of like falling in love with him again. Like, I just felt, I saw another side of him.
Yes.
And that was very attractive for me. So I think that was very important. Okay, go Lily, your one.
No. I was gonna say, I get to do things with someone I love. I like it, even if it is just going to the park and walk. I'm really simple. If we just go outside to walk, like get ice cream and walk in the park, for me, that's like, I love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, me too. I'm a nature lover. I just love like going to the park, just simple things.
Yeah.
I do like my food. I love my food. I like experimenting as well. But when someone does something nice, it's thoughtful.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Is it more meaningful to me when I get to spend uninterrupted leisure time with someone I love? Or B, I hear praise from someone I love? Or C, someone I love gives me something that shows they're thinking of me? Or D, I get back rub from someone I love?
I love that one.
Or E, someone I love does something for me that they know I don't want to do myself.
Oh,
They're all quite good, not so?
I tell you, this is difficult.
All of the above? No.
All F, all of the above. For me, I think this one is the uninterrupted leisure time.
Yeah.
Because I find that is so difficult these days.
Yes.
It's weird because we're always out, funny enough. Like my
Yeah.
husband, but to say that's uninterrupted, no.
No.
That's from both sides. More to me, there's a call I'll be picking up, or something will happen, and or my husband has an emergency job to do.
Yes.
But like the times where it's just the two of us.
Yes. No
one
mobile
else,
phone.
No mobile. No.
Yes.
It's the best.
I love that one, but I just know kind of our lifestyle's not like that.
It's not practical.
Yeah, I would love to just put my phone away. That can't happen. I know this sounds again so simple, but it's meaningful to me when I get a back rub.
Ooh.
I love it. I just love it. It's just like, oh. And then I'll probably fall asleep. If I'm being honest.
And would you do it?
I would definitely. I would
Okay,
give
so
it
it's
back.
not just one way.
No. I would give it back to you.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. Is it more meaningful to me when A, I can tell someone I love has listened to me? Or B, I am complimented by someone I love for no reason? Or C, I am taken to somewhere I wanted to go by someone I love? Or D, someone I love puts their arms around me in public? Or E, someone I love goes out of their way to do something I don't have time to do? I think I'll go for E.
Is it?
Yeah, E is very. Oh gosh, I think I'm all E
I know.
today.
That sounds like I'm gonna go for
when
E.
someone goes out their way,
Yeah.
I think that's really,
I have to agree with you on that one. I go for that one as well. Especially if they see that, I don't know, maybe I've been called to do something and I'm in a rush. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do that. Like I'm honest to say, one time, it's actually happened. So when I cook like a really nice meal, it's taken me time.
Yes.
My husband will wash the dishes.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask him to do that.
Yeah.
And I know it's like something simple, but that actually really gives me
I hear
some
you.
time just to sit down.
Yeah,
So
it's really
I like
sweet.
that. I'm gonna go for E, definitely E.
we all E's?
E's, E.
All right. E. Sound like a song. Okay. So, is it more meaningful to me when someone I love listens to my problems? Or B, someone I love tells me they love me? Or C, someone I love takes me away from my problems? Or D, someone I love holds me when I'm sad. Or E, someone I love takes care of a problem I tell them about.
I like E, but I think sometimes you have to solve it yourself. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go for D.
I was going to say D too.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't want you to tell me something when I'm sad. But like if I'm... no, in that moment, just hug
give you
me.
your space.
Just hold me.
Give you hugs.
Yeah, don't speak so much because I'll probably be like, oh, come on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when you're sad, you don't really measure your words and you don't want to say something hurtful. But if you just give like me a hug,
makes a difference.
for me, that's just like, oh, okay.
It's like you're showing the support.
Yeah.
You might even be wrong at the time.
It's true.
But just the fact that the hug is there, it's like, I got you regardless.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Indeed.
So what do you think about all the questions today?
Oh, I'm loving them.
It's really good. It's like
Yeah,
food
it makes
for
you
thought.
think. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I being really shallow? Do I really just want hugs and kisses and not want to help in return and do the same favor? Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's really good because it really kind of sees where you're coming from. It kind of makes you see what's valuable for you in that relationship.
Exactly.
So I think if you find somebody that doesn't see the same value that you see, there might be a problem.
Exactly.
It's so true.
But that's
It's
why
so
communication is key. I'm honest to say.
Communication, valuing each other. Yeah. So the results. Mostly A equals the quality time. This language is all about giving the other person your undivided attention. Mostly B's is words of affirmation. For those who prefer the words of affirmation language, hearing I love you and other compliments are what they value the most, and negative or insulting comment cut deep and won't be easily forgiven. Mostly C is receiving gifts. What makes them feel most love is to receive a tangible gift. This doesn't necessarily mean the person is materialistic, but a meaningful or thoughtful present, it makes the person feels appreciated. And mostly D, physical touch. To this person, nothing speaks more deeply than appropriate touch. And mostly E, as most of us, acts of service. So mostly E's equals acts of service. For these people, actions speaks louder than words. Yeah. People who speak the language of service want their partner to recognize their life is rough and help them out in any way possible. How much do you think how we communicate affects our compatibility in relationships?
Communication is key.
It's massive.
Key, literally, the key. Wow. Yes. Okay, even though I'm only a newlywed, I'm honest to say, I had to stop assuming. This one, oh my goodness.
Stop
just
assuming.
take it out.
Don't be judgmental.
Do not assume. No, sometimes he really genuinely doesn't know. He doesn't understand. Yeah. So I had to let him know, oh baby, for example, when I'm sad, it's okay. You don't need to give me a solution in the same second. Just give me a hug. Oh, I'm being honest. I had to communicate that with him. So now when I'm sad, he knows.
Communication, valuing.
Yes.
All right. So ladies, we're going to take a short break, but don't go away. Take a look at the interesting women that will be joining us after the break. Next, we'll be hearing from psychologist and director of Passion Smith, Madeline Mason, and Mary Dankwa will be joining us in the studio with her life experience. It's
dating or being matched as opposed to a cute meet or, a chance encounter, for instance.
Well, in the technical sense, it's not really romantic at all, is it? Because the idea of romance is that something happens by chance, serendipity, if you will.
You had a very unhappy relationships before meeting your now husband. So what happened there?
I think it really stemmed from a lot of insecurities that I had going into the relationship.
Welcome back on today's show, Compatibility Test. We've been discussing compatibility in relationships. Sandra met with psychologist and relationships expert Madeline Mason to find out more. Watch this.
I'm joined by Madeline Mason, director and co-founder of dating expert company Passion Smith. Welcome, Madeline.
Thank you.
So tell us, how does one go about becoming a dating expert?
Well, a dating expert in the context of Passion Smiths refers to a trained psychologist or psychotherapist that specialise in sort of human relations. So a dating expert in this context is somebody who you can talk to that knows about the dynamics between people in a relationship context. In a wider context, you'll have a dating expert might be somebody who's written a book about dating or has dated a lot and written about it, and they might call themselves a dating expert. So how you become one, depending on who you are and which sort of routes you've travelled into to getting there.
And so how romantic do you think is online dating or being matched as opposed to a cute meet or, a chance encounter, for instance?
Well, in the technical sense, it's not really romantic at all, is it? Because the idea of romance is that something happens by chance, serendipity, if you will.
One of your specialisms include personality testing. Mm-hmm. So how do you think that helps with, compatibility with the partner?
Well, there's two different things certainly in psychology. So I've got degrees in psychology, bachelor's, master's, etc., and working on a PhD at the moment, where personality testing is part of it. But psychometric testing is the broader sort of concept around testing, and it's really complicated. So if you talk about personality testing, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the same as a compatibility test. Compatibility tests are very varied, and then when it comes to romantic love, I think they're not all that strong anyway. So if you're taking it from a scientific point of view, they're not that great at the moment, possibly because there are very, very different ways of deciding how somebody is compatible. There's loads of studies to try and demonstrate what makes a good relationship, compatibility being one of them. But how you define compatibility is very varied. Is it about your interests? Is it about your values and that sort of thing? But there isn't real proper test out there, psychometric test, that I think is good enough to predict whether two people are great together. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for coming and sharing with us your experience. It's back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Madeline and Sandra. That was really interesting. Joining us in the studio to share her personal story is Mary Dankwa, who has learned what makes her compatible. Welcome, Mary.
Welcome. Thank you, ladies.
Hi. My darling, what do you think is more important, compatibility or love?
I think I would have to say compatibility. And I think just from past experiences, it's driven me to that particular answer. I think it's important that you align on certain key goals, you align on certain values, but obviously opposites attract as well, which makes it exciting.
Yes,
but I would have to go with compatibility.
Yeah, because when we say compatibility, we're talking about similarity, friendship, union, things you have in common.
Yes.
So compatibility over love.
Yes, I think so.
All right. So you had a very unhappy relationships. So what happened there?
I think it really stemmed from a lot of insecurities that I had going into the relationship, which therefore meant I came with a lot of excess baggage that I didn't deal with. So for the person that I was with and myself, we found ourselves kind of always at a bit of a stumbling block in certain parts, and it led to miscommunications. It led to me assuming certain things that weren't really there. Also, I would say there were some cultural differences as well. And I later found out that this person wanted a completely different future to what I wanted, which was quite, daunting as well. And I think I was quite a needy person. I was looking for a lot of reassurances all the time. And that led to the kind of breakdown of the relationship.
Yes. So what are the qualities do you think you believe makes you compatible with your husband?
Oh, with my now husband. So I would say the first quality is that my husband, he's kind of like forward thinker and visionaire, and I'm more kind of grounded and kind of like to plan, organise and stuff like that. So I think he quite likes that side of things, so that, you know, we kind of balance each other out in that respect. So he's the forward thinker and I'm the kind of like planner and doer. So that kind of works quite nicely.
Well, they say opposites attract.
So I was just going to say, do you see how compatibility works? It's not necessarily that you are the same. Because you're not the same.
Exactly.
But it's that balance that
complete each other.
Yeah, that's Lillian, that's exactly what it is. Like, we're not the same, but we balance each other out and we complete each other. So I think that's probably one of the main kind of
So what were
things.
some of the insecurities that you overcome?
I didn't value myself. I didn't see my self-worth and value. Like, I would look myself in the mirror and I would just think that I was ugly, skinny. I would compare myself to a lot of other people.
Wow.
So that kind of like just made me, you know, really an introvert. I think that's the word. I didn't really used to speak a lot. Now I speak.
So what did you do to change?
I think it came to a point where, you know, it was almost a do or die situation where I was just like, okay, do you know what? Like, I had to think oppositely to what the things that I was thinking in the past. And there were certain people around that supported and helped me. And it was really just a wake-up call to say that, look, I don't have to think in this way. And I started just doing things to kind of overcome it, really.
Yeah, so you spoke to someone? Did you have counselling or anything like that?
I spoke to various people that helped me along the way, family as well, and really just, you know, giving things a try. I was quite afraid and scared of certain things, but when I put that fear aside, I was able to actually face what it is that was in front of me and actually overcome it. So here I am today.
Love that.
Love it. That's really, really good. It makes you think, you know, because as you're talking about your husband, you sort of complete each other. He has certain qualities and you have certain qualities, but coming together.
And I love that she had to work on herself.
It was about her first.
Because to be honest with you, even my husband always said this, that, you know, you have to always be happy first. And then when you're married, you know, you will be even happier together. I'm sure, I know there will always be like problems, things that you have to work, challenges, exactly.
Of course.
But the fact that you worked on yourself and invested, do you know what I mean? Because imagine you going as the person you was before into this good marriage. Like the doctor said, the car works fine. There's no problem with the car. It's like us, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
Mary, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today. You've definitely enlightened us. Thank you, Mary. You have enlightened us so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with more compatibility tests. Here's a sneak peek of what's coming up after the break. Next, our team tests their compatibility with their husbands in a treasure hunt.
This challenge requires your team to take a picture. But this one's not hard. This one's take a picture of a mode of transport.
Welcome back. Today's topic is compatibility tests, and we've been hearing some true love stories. Indeed. What makes couples compatible is a complicated issue, ladies. And to test Liliana's teamwork skills, we send them on a treasure hunt. Take a look at how they got on.
Why do people and companies do team building events?
For a number of different reasons, really. Maybe they want to boost morale. They want to maybe have a fun event. Maybe it could be a networking event, or to just see how their teams are doing.
Hello. Hello. How are you doing?
Hi, good.
Welcome. My name's Luke. I'm from a company called Zing Events, and I'm doing your activity this afternoon. Okay. Yeah. It's a team activity, so it's very important that you guys work together as a team, because you're doing the GPS Explorer Challenge, okay?
They follow a tablet. On the tablet we have like GPS hotspots, and they just go and visit as many as they can with the tablet and do a number of different challenges.
You'll both be taking home, if you complete the challenge, a wonderful feeling.
Your finger's in the way. All right, there.
go.
Okay.
We're gonna do a task.
So let's just start.
Okay, we're gonna start.
There's somewhere there. Let's go.
Let's work together.
Okay.
Together.
Yeah,
Let's work together. I can't see on the corner of Pencil Road. Oh, we got 10 points. Woo!
So what do you think makes the team successful?
Well, a good team will, each person within that team will bring something different. And I think a good team is where they're allowed to express that difference. So you have, say, with a couple, for example, like we had today, they both brought something different, but the best thing about them is why they worked so well is because they allowed each other to bring that kind of, bring their skills or their knowledge forward.
Locate this listing of companies pictured below at the Yorkway entrance to the Regent Quarter to discover the year that is associated with Kelly & Co. Use the year for your answer.
Today's treasure hunt.
Yeah.
How did you find it? How effective was it for you?
Do you know what? I really liked it, but again, I have to say, I've always learned to, you know, sometimes let the man lead and just help him out.
I like because some things, obviously, that I didn't know, she knew it. Some things that she was in doubt, I just say, you know, just go in and get this thing done. And then as we go inside certain buildings, we found the answers and all of that. But I like because of the teamwork. It's good, I like it.
Kelly & Co, 1864.
Spot on.
Take a photo of your team in a mode of transport. Use as much creativity, imagination and humor as possible. This challenge requires your team to take a picture. But this one's not hard. This one's take a picture of a mode of transport.
Okay, you go first, yeah?
Let's be together.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You hold it, I put my, you hold it here, you hold it here, you hold it here. It has to be against the wall.
Is that okay? Yeah, it's a mode of transport.
All right, let's do this,
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Nice.
Submit. Yay!
Done.
It's not about you being the same, because me and my husband, we're not the same. Even though when you see when us doing the activities, we are different. I celebrate little victories. He's like, nope, let's focus. But even though we're different, when we come together, we help each other out, and that's what I believe compatibility is. So even though we're not exactly the same, and I wouldn't want to be with someone exactly the same, so because we're different, we give each other what we don't have. Take a photo of your team dancing of the
It's conga.
Baby, conga. You don't want to do that?
All right, let's do this.
The more creativity, the more points, he said.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, they just got married.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
They just got married.
It takes 2 seconds, that's all.
Just a picture of the line. And you get to be on TV.
Simple.
3,
2, 1, hey!
Okay, well, I'm gonna let you know. Okay, so I gave you a target of 350. You actually scored 355. So here we go. Here you win. So there you go. You actually have a medal. If you want to zoom in on that, it says "Winner, winner, chicken dinner." There we go. So if you'd like to pop one of those on, I'll hand you back the microphone. Guys, well done. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. In my eyes, I think, yeah, you're a successful team. So well done. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We had so much fun with our couple today, Liliana and Carlos, with the compatibility test. And it's back to us in the studio.
Wow, that looks fun. So ladies, overall, what do you believe make couples compatible?
Well, I've learned so much from today's show.
I know.
I must say. But I think you need to get to the point where you know what it is that you want in a relationship.
Yes.
And that other person also needs to arrive at that point.
Yes.
When the psychologist was speaking, I thought it was very interesting how she said how women, most of the time, they want something, but they don't want to show what they want. They don't want to ask for it.
Yes.
So they go for something else and then wonder why it doesn't work out.
Yes.
And I thought, oh my gosh, that is so true. It's like sometimes they feel like, if I really go for what I want, I'm not going to get it.
Yes.
So let me
it's like I aim too high. So I need to take down my standards.
So let me take down my standards a bit and at least try to make myself a bit more marketable, probably.
Yes.
And then you end up with someone in the long term that is not going to make you happy because it doesn't tick the core things that are important for you.
Exactly. I have to totally agree with that. And like I was even saying with Mary, that compatibility is important, especially in the beginning, I have to say. And I say this because I was even watching another program where there was a lady where they weren't married yet. They were thinking to get married.
Yeah.
And she was very honest and told her fiancé that she wanted to be a modern woman, work a lot, not really stay home. But he on the other side was like, no, I want you to stay home like how I grew up, like how he grew up.
Yeah.
And you see with that, it may not seem an issue, but it can really turn nasty later on. So I think it's really important to, you know, sit down with your boyfriend, your fiance, and have a conversation about it so that you both go into something in an agreement at least. People do change.
Yeah.
People do change.
Yeah, and valuing each other, you know, valuing yourself, you know. But I think a lot of times, I know I've been there, as you get older, sometimes you become anxious. And you can't let anxiety, you know, take over because then you make wrong decisions. And very often social media can be used to give a certain impression. So it's always good to actually meet the person and have that one-to-one conversation because you can't really judge social media pictures and posts. You know, you have to really get to know the person.
It's true.
You know, it's funny because I was just thinking here, what are the things that will not change in a relationship? I think those are the core things you need to think of, these things about the core. Because it's funny, what she said is so true. I've changed so much. I've been married for like 9 years, but when I think about who I was when I was married, who I am now, I'm a different person. The core things are still the same. So, for example, my faith is it's like a core thing that doesn't change. My need for family values is important, hasn't changed. But there are other things about my appearance has changed. So my husband, he married someone that was size 10. I'm not size 10 anymore. So if that was important for him, we would not be married today. So there's some things that, you know, but for him, it's not an issue. But if for someone else it was an issue, then our relationship wouldn't work. So I was thinking there are some things that you can compromise, and as long as you're willing to compromise and communicate and be flexible, like Mary was, then your relationship will always work. But I think that, like this thing, what you were saying, if someone really has a dream to go out there and be something big, but then the partner wants them to stay home, even though they might be having a great time together, they have both sense of humour, they make each other laugh, they're just happy in each other's presence. In the end, it's not going to work out because the core thing is not ticked off. And I think I made that mistake in a previous relationship that really fell apart. And that's something that I was determined to get right this time. And I think that compatibility is important, but with the right things.
Exactly.
Yes. So compatibility over love?
Love, I think compatibility helps love a lot. There's a lot that goes into how you love someone. And Mary was saying compatibility. I understood when she said, because love doesn't always conquer all. But compatibility can help with your love life a lot. So I don't think it's either or. I think it complements each other.
Yes, embrace each other.
She said it all.
Yes.
She took the words off my mouth. Exactly that.
We think alike, huh? Oh, ladies, it is not uncommon to learn that a relationship which seemed ideal has come to an end. In fact, there really aren't any ideal relationship. That ones that seems to be so are generally too good to be true. Relationships are imperfect because human beings are imperfect. Whatever makes us compatible or incompatible, the important thing to remember is to love yourself and not seek validation from others. Well, you've heard our thoughts, so tell us your thoughts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or by emailing comments@dkw.me. Join us next week for another exciting episode of DKW, a different kind of woman. Until then, it's goodbye.
Bye.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.